everybody, Mean Joe from Balsa USA. Hey, I'm in the shop today. I'm working on the Balsa USA quarter scale float set, and I'm getting ready to do some sheet laminations. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to do a quick tutorial on how I like to do my sheet laminations. I'm going to get this set aside here. You can see here in the plans, I've got to laminate these 3/32 by 3" by 30 sheets of lamination, and I'm going to actually show you what my technique is for doing this. So as you can see right here, I've taken my long metal straight edge and I've secured it to my table. This is going to give me a straight edge clear across the entire board where I'm going to be working. So next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my lamination sheets, and you want to kind of take a look at it to see which way, if it has any bow in it at all, you want to kind of look to see where that is. And what I will normally do is I will put the bow down. I know there's some guys that like to put the bow up. For me, what I like to do is I like to put it down because I can secure it at both ends and it'll be perfectly level and flat. So what I do is I've actually, with these types of things, I go ahead and I switch over to these red pins. I like these a little bit better for this work because they've got a flat spot on the bottom, and when you pin a sheet down, it'll actually stay pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and get this sheet pinned down. You want to make sure that this is right up against your straight edge. And when you pin these down, got a bad pin there. You want to make sure you pin them down in a way that's going to keep them secured. These red pins do a great job of that, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the pin in at a little bit of an angle so that it's up against the 3/32 balsa real well. Once you get that pin down, you want to check your squareness on your straight edge. Make sure that it's all nice and flat. And for good measure, what I normally do is I just go ahead and put another pin right in there like that. And then that sheet is secured very well to the bench. So what I use for this is just regular wood glue. Some folks call it aliphatic resin. Just any type of wood glue that you like working with. I actually like the Titebond stuff. It usually works pretty good and it sands well, which is going to be important. So really all you have to do is you want to make sure that you get a nice straight edge. I always check this just to make sure everything looks good before I put any glue down. And then you just take a bead of glue. This is probably the trickiest part so that you don't make a mess. Is run a nice bead of glue down your sheet. And again, this is probably the most difficult part of this whole thing, is getting a decent line of glue down your sheet so that you have something to adhere to. The nice part about using the aliphatic resin or wood glue is that it actually sands pretty easy. And that's the reason why I use it other than CA, because as you know, CA is sometimes kind of hard to get sanded off. So now what I do, and once I've got that down, I go ahead and slide my sheet over, get everything lined up like I like it, and pin this sheet in place. And again, I go ahead and put one in the center just for good measure to make sure I'm going to get a nice flat sheet. Now, a little tip that you can do, because you can see I've got quite a bit of glue coming up through that seam. What I like to do is I take some paper towel, just put a little bit of water on it, and run it down that seam, and that'll save you some sanding. You're still going to have some sanding that you'll have to do. Especially on the back side, there'll be some glue there that you have to take care of. And then what you want to do is you want to let that set and dry. Now normally what I'll do for these, because I want to make sure I get a nice straight lamination is I'll go ahead and just place a few weights on it, so that when I get done with the lamination that I know it's going to be, it shouldn't have much warp to it. And you can do this with sandbags. You can do that with these 1-2-3 blocks. These 1-2-3 blocks are actually very good for weights. And that's pretty much it. All you have to do at this point is let it dry. And then you will have a 6-inch wide sheet lamination for your Balsa USA quarter scale float set. I hope this video was helpful. As always, thank you very much for watching, and happy building.